In 2010, scientists at America's National Center for Atmospheric Research proved that the Red Sea really could have parted exactly as the Bible says. In 2010, a research team at America's National Center for Atmospheric Research did something nobody expected. Using powerful ocean and wind computer models, scientist Carl Drews proved that a body of water could genuinely split in two and reveal dry land underneath, exactly the way the Bible describes the parting of the Red Sea. The science worked. The water really could divide. But the discovery did not end the mystery. It made it deeper. Because the wind would have to blow at one precise moment in history. Roughly 3,300 years ago, in the kingdom of ancient Egypt, hundreds of thousands of Hebrew people lived as slaves. For generations they had built cities under the whip, watched their children die, and cried out for freedom that never came. Then a man named Moses, raised in Pharaoh's own palace but born a slave, returned with a message: "Let my people go." After 10 devastating plagues struck Egypt, Pharaoh finally released them. An entire nation walked out of bondage into the open desert, toward a freedom they had only dreamed of. But Pharaoh changed his mind. He gathered 600 chariots and the full force of his army and thundered across the desert to drag his slaves back. The Hebrews reached the shore of the sea and froze. Water stretched endlessly in front of them. Behind them, a wall of dust and bronze and horses was closing in fast. They were trapped, the deep sea on one side, an army that would slaughter them on the other. There was no boat, no bridge, no way out. The mothers held their children and waited to die. Then Moses lifted his staff over the water. The Bible says a strong east wind blew all that night, and the sea was driven back. The waters split apart and stood like walls on the right and on the left, and the muddy seabed turned dry beneath their feet. An entire nation walked through the heart of the sea on dry ground, water towering above them on both sides. Children stared up at walls of trembling ocean held in place by a force no one could see. They crossed. Every single one. Here's what the modern scientists discovered. Carl Drews and Weiching Han found that a sustained wind of around 60 miles an hour, blowing across a shallow lagoon for roughly 12 hours, could push the water back and expose a land bridge nearly 2 miles wide, enough for a nation to cross. Their study was published and peer-reviewed. The physics is real, but here is the part no equation explains. That exact wind, of that exact strength, would have to begin at the exact hour a trapped people needed it, and stop the moment the army followed. Maybe God did use the wind. Maybe he used the tides and the physics he himself wrote into the universe. But think about the timing. Not a day early, not an hour late. The wind came when a hopeless people stood at the edge of the water with death behind them. That is the real miracle, not the breaking of nature's laws, but the perfect command of them at the precise moment of need. Have you ever felt rescued at the exact second you'd given up? Follow Cosmic Pictures for more real stories that will change how you see the world. Science can explain the wind. It can explain the water. But it can never explain the timing. And perhaps that is the whole point. That the God who made the universe also knows the precise hour you need him most. Have you ever been rescued at the exact moment you thought all hope was gone? Share your story below. Drop your answer in the comments. Share this with someone who stares at the stars and wonders. Subscribe. A new mind-blowing story every single day.